Everybody, this is Tim Andrews from Radio Labyrinth. I'm out in my backyard, just me and a red-tailed hawk, which is screeching up in the trees. I think it probably wants to eat one of my dogs. I hope it surely doesn't want to do that. Hey, listen, we decided that for everybody's, mental health, well-being, basically mine, that recording the show on Wednesday nights and releasing it on Saturdays was always the better idea, and it worked very well for us for a very long time. But when the show schedule at my job changed, it kind of took away evenings. So we went and started recording it on Sundays and releasing it on Wednesdays. And what we've noticed is that it's just not working. So we are going to go back to recording on Wednesday nights and releasing on Saturdays. So in lieu of doing a show this week, this is just a few minutes of me talking on camera with the hawk in the background, wearing my Atlanta Pizza and Euro hat, and thinking about pizza, thinking about Euros, thinking about the delicious food, thinking about wonderful television shows. By the way, I am almost done with Succession. And as Jeff Leboff is noted to say, hey, I want to talk about Heat. Yeah, I know the show ended, a couple months ago. It wrapped up. And let me tell you, when I saw episode 3 of season 4 and what happened on the airplane with Logan Roy, I almost noped out because he's my favorite character. But hey, listen, I'm going to see it through. I've come this far in such a short amount of time. Okay, the Hawks moved, but he's still flying around. I had this cool app that came from Cornell University, and it's a free app. I don't remember the name of it. Something like Bird Sounds or something like that. But if you're into birds, you don't really know what the birds are. All you need to do is get this app, and then you hit record, and it detects what kind of bird it is based on its sound. Maybe I'll tell Dustin, and he'll put a thing here, but no free plugs. I mean, come on. Anyway, so I think I have 6 episodes left of Succession, and I've blown through this show like I did the first 3 seasons, I think, in 3 weeks. It is a good show. And if I had the time, I probably would watch it all day long and be done with it by now. But I have to get back to the other stuff I'm watching, like Righteous Gemstones, Alone. I'm behind on everything. Always Sunny, The Freak Brothers. There's a lot of good things. Normally, throughout the day, I watch a couple different shows, and they're the same shows. And now I've seen episodes of these shows, probably more than I've seen The Sopranos, which is saying a lot. My son Gilbert really enjoys watching Hop Hop, the owl. Hop Hop is an owl, and his buddy is Peck Peck, and then they do little things where they solve problems. And then the other show is called Leo the Truck. Leo the Truck has friends. He has a friend named Lifty, who has some sort of, cart. What do they call those things? Forklift. And then he has another friend named Scoop, who, scoops dirt and stuff and plays soccer. And Leo is a truck. And then there's Leia. They have to have a girl truck, female truck. I think she's a female. She identifies as a female. And then they got a bunch of robots that they make do all the work. So it's called Leo the Truck. There's a couple of variations of it. The cool thing about it, or maybe the bad thing, is that they're Russian. And all the English is overdubbed. Not that you can really tell because it's animation. So these 2 Russian cartoons are his favorite cartoons. Now, I know a lot of kids watch them. There's millions of views of these on YouTube. But you can't buy any toys, and I would really like to get him a toy. So if you know how to find or maybe you have one of those printers that can make things, let me know, because I want to get Leo the Truck for Gilbert. But those are the 2 shows he likes to watch. Otherwise, there's these Japanese animated videos where there's a bunch of different cars, and they go down a slide, and then they land into a pit of multicolored soccer balls. And then these cars, which are initially blank, turn into the color of the soccer balls. And then they have all sorts of sound effects and a lot of things that I can't recreate because it would be culturally insensitive. Oh, look, one of the dogs is pooping. I don't think the hawk is going to get the dog. So now I'm in front of one of these trees in our backyard that has a bunch of these awesome flowers on it, see? And there's bees flying around, and normally I'd be kind of, scared of bees because I don't like bees or the dogs that have bees in their mouths. So anyway, just to reiterate, we are going back to recording on Wednesdays. If you want to become a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews, sign up. I've decided to change it. If you come in at any level, you can have access to our Patreon exclusive shows. Right now, we're kind of recapping Righteous Gemstones Season 3. And on the next episode of that, which you can get exclusively on our Patreon page at the $1 and up level, you can watch us talking about it. We'll be doing episodes, I think 4 and 5 in the next one, 2 episodes. And then we're going to do what we do in the shadows, and we have a lot planned. Basically, it's just us riffing. We don't really break it down like a lot of people do breakdowns of shows and tell you all about the Easter eggs. And there's so many of those shows on YouTube. And so many of those people, they do it so much better because they have a lot of time to invest. It's basically their career. Radio Labyrinth isn't our career. We just love doing it. And it's a lot of fun for us. The other night, Jeff and I went out and saw previous Radio Labyrinth guest, Josh Joplin. Josh Joplin Group last year got together and did a show at City Winery. This year it was Josh Joplin and Among the Oak and Ash. And it was a fun show. A lot of wine was consumed that night, and I'm not normally a drinker. Frickin' squirrels, they scared me. I thought it was a deer. Why do squirrels sound like deer? Can you imagine what a deer would sound like? We also have coyotes and foxes and all sorts of crazy animals out here. Hey, look, there's a bumblebee inside of this flower. I'm going to zoom in and piss him off. See, look, he's in there. Or she. I don't know what gender they are. Or sex. Animals have sexes, right? Not genders. You see him crawling around in there? That's pretty cool, huh? Coming in and out of focus. Anyway, so like I said, we're going to be back with Saturday morning releases coming up this Saturday. Don't forget to look for our Patreon show. And if you want to become a producer, you can get a doodle. Although, you know, it does take me a while to get these doodles done. I want them to look good. And if they don't look good, I start over. Man, I think he's so drunk on Paul and he's falling asleep. Yeah, there's Izzy, the dopey dog. Hi, Izzy. There's Rizzo. She's kind of old. She doesn't like to be on camera. You know, she doesn't have her makeup on. She hasn't taken her dog, Adrenochrome. We just got a whole bunch of puppies in, and we're going to be scaring them and extracting their adrenochrome to help prolong Rizzo's life. And maybe we'll use stem cells to grow Izzy a new eye. Here I am on the other side of the house where the bumblebees are sucking all the pollen out of the sunflowers. My wife put together a garden, so she's a gardener now, like Chauncey Gardner. And if I move out, maybe she can get a job at the White House like Chauncey did. You ever see that movie? That's a great movie. Chauncey Gardner from the movie Being There. We got some tomatoes. Being There is a movie about an older fella who's taking care of his caretaker's garden. The caretaker dies and he doesn't have anywhere to go. It was Peter Sellers' last film, and it's sort of a Forrest Gumpian type of thing without all the, you know, I've done this in history. Jack Warden is in it too. Jack Warden's great. Shirley MacLaine, she's great. It's a great little film. Anyway, Chauncey Gardner ends up being an advisor to the president. And so let's see, we got all sorts of flowers. The sun is really doing a number on our squash plant. Also back here you have some cucumber plants and then these gigantic sunflowers. Oh, look, a butterfly. Let's see if I can get the butterfly. Oh, yeah, there's a little butterfly. So I guess I'll just wrap this up. Listen to me on the Von Hessler Doctrine Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Podcast is available every day. And also I have a Saturday show called The Popcast, 7 p.m. on WSB or the WSB radio app. So if you live in another town or another state, rather, that doesn't pick up WSB, well, you can just listen to it on your phone, or again, there is a podcast. My guest this week with Isaiah Hill from the Apple TV Plus show called Swagger. He's a really cool guy. He's 20 years old. He's really good at basketball. His aunt is Lauryn Hill, but we don't even talk about that. Isn't that cool? And I think next week on the show, I have Josh Warren coming in to talk about the dynamic El Dorado. And I've sent Dustin a link to tell you why we're going to be talking to him on the podcast. We'll probably have him on here again real soon, too. So anyway, thanks again for being supporters, being listeners. If there's anything you'd like us to talk about, anything you'd like us to break down, any kind of top 10 lists or best ofs or just basically anything, post it in the comments. I did forget to say one thing. Hey, listen, when people go on strike, there's a reason they go on strike. And since we talk a lot about TV shows and movies, we've spoken in the past about the writer's strike. and how we sympathize with them and we support them. And the actors too. Tom Cruise or George Clooney, people like that who get paid an awful lot of money to make movies. Think about Jim Carrey back in the day, or Stallone back in the day, or Schwarzenegger. They used to command these gigantic salaries to make films. But then again, you have people who are working actors, people that we've had on our show, people in town who don't get good residuals, people who don't get great deals. And then you have all these streaming services which are making money hand over fist. And of course, they're not beholden to the actors, they're beholden to their shareholders, right? When these Hollywood people go on strike, the face of Hollywood is, the big stars. They're out there in the picket line, they're supporting people, and a lot of them have been supporting the writers who've been on strike for quite a while now. Now, we know the Directors Guild, they went ahead and signed a deal, but right now you have an alliance between the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild of America. The best thing for these studios to do is to suck it up and pay. Work out some good deals for these people who are working. And again, we're not talking about the big time stars. We're talking about people who, do a couple of roles here and there, or people who do series on, again, a streaming service. I'm not going to single anyone out. And then the other thing that really you need to be concerned with is AI, artificial intelligence. We're not that far away from, a celebrity saying, well, you can just take my likeness and pay me until I'm dead, and then give it to my family after I'm dead, and just keep making movies. Like, let's say the Avengers, and they want to keep the continuity. All the actors that were in all the Avengers movies just sign away their likenesses to Disney, and Disney just does AI for the rest of until the world blows up. That's kind of lame. And people need to have support, and people need to get paid. So, hopefully there's a great resolution, a quick resolution, because we don't want to watch Tiger King and other shitty reality shows. There are good reality shows, and then there's ones that we just talk about because they're there, like Tiger King, because of the pandemic. So anyway, we'll talk more about that on the show next week. And also coming up on the show next week, we're going to be talking about our favorite sketch comedy shows of all time, and a couple of other really cool oh yeah, we're going to talk about the Emmys in a little segment that we're going to call Should Win, But Will Win. So we will talk to you next week. If you're looking to adopt or support people who adopt dogs, go to barkvillerescue.org. And as always, keep it canon.